And welcome back to the FBTV Podcast. My name is Michael. I'm your host. Of course, FBTV is short for Freight Broker TV. Got a lot of stuff to talk about today, but our focus today will be on load boards. Let's get started.
When are we gonna get there? I'm hungry. This car smells weird.
Y'all know me. Know how I earn a living.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
You all right? You look a wee bit shaky.
I can't breathe.
Yes, I'm a bit nervous myself.
Gosh, not again.
What we're dealing with here is a complete lack of respect for the law.
We live or we die by the clock. We never turn our back on it. And we never, ever allow ourselves the sin of losing track of time.
I don't tell you something about time. My time is worth money, and I don't think you make that kind of money to pay me for my time.
Only a true friend would be that truly honest.
Okay, Michael. Regular or extra crispy?
I don't know. I've always been partial to original. I like extra crispy sometimes, but usually you'll find me going the original route. And I wish I could eat more KFC, but I can't because, well, it's my understanding that it's so unhealthy, it could kill me, so kind of stay away from fast food these days. FreightBrokerTV.com, that's our website. You want to check us out, visit us there. We try to do a podcast every week. But sometimes, well, unable to for one reason or another. But here we are. The podcast is a companion to our YouTube videos. You'll find those are on YouTube. Freight Broker TV, FBTV. Actually, probably don't want to do a search on YouTube for us. FBTV is going to pull up all kinds of soccer-related websites, football, as they call it. But you do a search for Freight Broker TV, you'll find us on YouTube. We put in videos up there every week. Free freight broker training, as we call it. If you go to our website, FreightBrokerTV.com, you'll find the videos there as well. And links to the FBTV page, channel, whatever you want to call it, there on YouTube. We also have a Twitter feed at Freight TV is the way to find that. Coffee mugs. You go to our website, Freight Broker TV. We've got coffee mugs available, and this is the weather you want a coffee mug, be it for a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, or just good old hot chocolate with marshmallows. FBTV coffee mug available on our website, 11-ounce mug, two choices, black or white. FreightBrokerTV.com to order. All right, let's talk a minute about, we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff today, and we're going to be talking about load boards as well. This isn't really a load board, but I just wonder how many people are going to fall for this craziness. Have you heard of Uber Freight? Uber Freight, if you haven't heard of it, I would, just looking at it, I haven't really done a lot of research in it, but just looking at it, it's trying to be a bid board, maybe, where, shippers can post their freight and trucking companies can perhaps bid on it. I may be wrong about the bidding. Maybe not. Just looking over this real quick. Looks like a nice little twist on what you ship. Remember you ship? Matter of fact, they had that TV show. I watched an episode of 2 of that, and then I've thought, man, how nutty. Uber Freight, I don't know, some people are going to go that route, I guess. I've never been a fan of these type of load boards, and not because I'm a broker. Even when I was a carrier, I don't want to get out here and start a bidding war. And usually that's what thieves are doing. They're creating a bidding war. But long story short, Uber Freight is kind of like U-Ship, only it's more of a load board type. You can check it out. I don't think, trying to replace brokers, and it's just not going to happen. Matter of fact, I'm looking at their website, and one of the things, selling points, hassle-free booking for carriers. It's time to put it into all those phone calls and faxing. Who faxes today? Book the loads you want 24 hours a day. Yeah. Here's where it all falls apart. I go to their website. I scroll down. They got a video up here. And the first thing I see is Land of Lakes. That's Dean's Food. Dean's Food just filed bankruptcy. So not a good selling point right off the top. But anyway, the whole point of me talking about this to begin is ELDs are a requirement for trucks. There is a deadline looming in just a few weeks. I believe it's in December where you better have the ELD on your truck or else. Well, Uber Freight is offering small trucking companies a free device, a free ELD, and service in exchange for data. Uh-oh. Just a few days ago, November 15th, Uber Freight offered, put an offer on their blog to provide free ELD devices along with a Euro service to small carriers if the carrier agrees to share their data with Uber Freight. All right, if you can't see through this, you shouldn't have a trucking company, bottom line. First of all, they're targeting small trucking companies. Okay, why are they targeting the small trucking companies? Because people in the bigger trucking companies, they can see right through this. A large amount of data is going to be collected by the ELD, which includes position, speed, trip, distance, time, idling, harsh braking and driving, seatbelt, fuel consumption, blah, 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 blah. Position, that's the issue I have. Okay, when somebody starts getting that position, it's going to be a GPS position. All somebody has to do is enter that GPS coordinate. And guess what? They know exactly where you picked up and where you delivered. Don't you think that kind of works with their Uber Freight load matching, whatever they want to call it, website? See, that's a lot of the, not knocking a smaller trucking company, but we're going to talk about this after a while. I came across this on a review earlier. Somebody reviewing truckstop.com, and it was just a few months ago. Starts out a monthly for-pay online business that cheats real mileage out of hard-working trucking companies. Okay. Hey, I'm not knocking it. This is just what I'm talking about. This is why they're attacking this Uber Freight deal with this ELD, this free ELD. They're going after the small guy, the small carrier. If you're a small trucking company, you got to be wise to this stuff, man. You got to see right through it for what it actually is. You may, if you're a small trucking company, there's a pretty good chance you're using brokers more than you should be. And that's putting that free ELD in your truck. That's going to allow Uber to find all the places you picked up and delivered. So they can obviously try to sell their services to that company. It's going to hurt the industry. You support this. It's going to hurt you. This is why what Uber is offering, the free ELD, is going to be so attractive to these type of trucking companies. This is exactly who they're targeting. A trucking company using a broker for the majority of their loads can't afford or don't want to afford an ELD. Just like a lot of these trucking companies that have 10 trucks or less that are using brokers for pretty much all their loads generally won't have any type of general liability insurance, and more freight brokers are requiring a trucking company to carry general liability. And this all goes back to 2010 with the CSA. Now, getting back to what I'm talking about here, this guy, I'm assuming this is a small trucking company. But anyway, that posted this review of Truckstop. Gave them 1 star, by the way. Okay. He starts out, small trucking companies in the U.S. sometimes rely on load boards to find connecting or returning loads back to home base. Okay. Truckstop.com is one of the biggest online load boards in the U.S. However, they have a huge problem. Their mileage to and from, their posted mileage to and from, is not real. Instead, such mileages are geared to favor the broker industry by showing less mileage between your location and the location where the load is located. All right, let's stop right there. The load board serves pretty much one purpose and one purpose only, unless it specifically states that, hey, we got a mileage tool built in, and it's going to tell you the mileage. You know what kind of how they're basing that mileage, or what tool they're pulling from to get that mileage. Now, you're not going to find me standing up for Truckstop very often, and I'll talk about that here after a while, as far as the reason why. But if you are a trucking company, you're using the load board to find loads. Don't trust the mileage that the load board gives you. You need a separate mileage tool, such as PC Miler, Rand McNally, Pro Miles, and there's dozens more out there you can choose from, pay a subscription to, and have access to it. Matter of fact, there's a free mileage tool online. There's a lot of free mileage tools online, but Pro Miles has one that's pretty accurate. You'll find that at truckmiles.com. As the trucking company, it's your responsibility to get the right information. Don't blame the load board for not providing you the correct mileage. It's not a mileage tool, it's a load board. Okay. Back in the early days of Truckstop, to be honest with you, they used to post the mileage up there, but it was pretty obvious. It was as the crow flies mileage. It was straight line. It wasn't even using, the highways. Now, getting back to the mileage tool, you need a mileage tool that's going to calculate the miles the way a truck would drive it. You don't want to use Google or MapQuest or anything like that, because it's going to calculate the miles the way a car would drive it, which is going to include taking you through non-truck routes, downtown areas where you're not supposed to be as a truck. It's going to take you under low bridges and such. Anyway, this guy goes on saying that their postal mileage does not even match the industry standard of zip code to zip code mileage. Well, no, it's not going to. It's a load board. If you want a mileage tool, you need to get one. Like I said earlier, PC Miler, Rand McNally, Pro Miles, whatever. So this guy claims in his review that the Truckstop is cheating their paying customers out of millions of dollars every single day, and the volume of loads posted by posting unrealistic short mileage to a loads pickup point. Okay, now you are talking about deadhead. Okay, never mind that brokers do not pay monthly fees to post loads. Okay, I don't know. That may be a fact. This was put up there back in March. I'd have to go back and check, and to be honest with you, I haven't done that. But it says they don't pay monthly fees to post loads, brokers. That may or may not be true. Okay, and if it is true, okay, whoever posted this needs to, they're a trucking company, and they need to think about that for a moment, because they're allowing brokers posting privileges, but that only benefits the trucking company because you have more loads to choose from. So don't complain about that. Okay, adding insult to injury, in this case, that's what they're saying, brokers don't pay fees. Therefore, the website is responsible for posting deceiving mileage to their own paying customers, so on and so forth. Now, I get the point, but this goes back to this Uber Freight, why they are targeting small trucking companies, because the small trucking company, a lot of these people with the small trucking companies are using brokers 100% of the time. And they know the mentality. Okay, that's going to win me a lot of points, but it's a small trucking company. You've got to be a business person. You got to be in business, and you've really got to focus on what's going to make you money. Now let's get back to truckstop.com for a moment. Carriers pay, at this time it said $37 a month. Okay, apparently they raised it for trucking companies, because now trucking companies pay $39 a month. Brokers used to pay just $35 a month. Now I'm talking about truckstop.com here. Brokers used to pay $35 a month. And one day you wake up, you go into the load board, you look, and just overnight they went from $35 a month for a broker to $99 a month. Overnight. Almost 300% increase overnight. That's kind of crazy. Hey, I'll sit here and we'll talk about load boards here in just a few minutes, but truckstop.com is a $35 a month load board every day of the week. They are not a $99 a month load board. Now, maybe trucking companies, especially smaller trucking companies, you're going to dig it because, hey, it's $39 a month. $60 less than what a broker has to pay. A lot of brokers probably won't use Truckstop. I know in our consulting now we don't recommend it. It used to be the second load board we recommended was Truckstop. Build the business, then add the DAT product. Now we go straight to DAT. Okay, and that's where we're going to get to here, talking about load boards. Load boards, there are dozens of load boards, but just finishing up on this Uber Freight. I'm not talking about trucking companies, small trucking companies. I'm just saying a lot of small trucking companies. First of all, if you're using a broker for 100% of your loads, you're already losing money. Bottom line, you're losing, I think we figured this up one time. This was a couple of years ago, $300 to $500 per truck per week if you're using a broker 100% of the time. Uber this free ELD sounds like a good idea, but like I say, there's that catch. Yeah, we'll give you a free ELD, but we're going to get all the data. We're going to give it to you free for a year. That's a year of them following you around, pinpointing your exact pickup points, destinations. They can find your customers or the broker's customers that you're getting the loads from. And that's their intent. That's what they're doing it for. That's exactly why they're doing it. Don't fall for that, okay? Do not fall for that. Okay, moving on to the load boards. That's what our topic's really going to be about today. I just came across that Uber thing, that free ELD from Uber, and that was the load board, and we got off on the truck stop. We'll come back to truck stop here in a minute. Now, load boards. What load boards should you use? As many as you can get your hands on, okay, if you're a broker. And the reason that is simply because you don't know which load board the trucking company is using. Bottom line. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of load boards out there. Now, I said as many as you could get your hands on. Obviously, that's tongue-in-cheek. The three we recommend, four if you at a couple of different products from DAT, but we always recommend our clients just starting out as a broker, basically a broker agent, start out with 123 load board. All right, 123 load board, yes, it's free, but it's free for a broker. And this goes back to what the whoever that was making that review of truckstop.com that we're complaining about is brokers post for free. Well, a lot of load boards will let the broker post for free for the simple reason that populates the load board and gives the truck more options, more choices. It only benefits the truck. Okay, now you're thinking, well, if you're a trucking company, you're thinking, well, what? Yeah, well, they're posting for free. Well, yeah, but they're not they can't search for free. You see what I'm saying? It just benefits the trucking company letting a broker post for free, and that's what 123loadboard.com is doing. They're letting a broker post their loads for free. As well as, they're matching trucks up to the broker's load. Plus, there are free tools that are going to be available on 123 load board for a broker, such as mileage. Okay, mileage, spot rate tools, things like that. A broker needs those tools. Now, we always recommend start out with 123. 123 has some other benefits to it as well. If you've got your own website, even as an agent, if you got your own website, they will provide you a snippet of code that you can embed on your website that will mirror your load posting. So it's actually putting a load board on your website. You could actually have a loads page. Now, I never recommend anyone doing that unless you've got 20 to 30 loads available to you on a daily basis. Last thing you want to do is have a trucking company come to your website, go to the loads page, and it be empty. Okay, you want to have at least 20 to 30 loads a day posted daily. You know you've got a customer base that's going to provide you that many loads. But that's free. Not knocking Internet Truck Stop, but they used to provide a service like that as well. It was called WebMate. And WebMate would cost $10 a month to do the same thing. But, yeah, that's available through 123 load board. So we always recommend starting out 123 load board. Now, next. This is where that price increase for Truck Stop kind of, put them in the back of the pack, at least as far as our recommendations to a client. $35 a month for Truck Stop, you bet. Every day of the week, twice on Sunday. That's what we used to recommend. Start out with 123 load board. When you get up there, you got 20, 30 loads a day you're posting. Okay, keep your 123 load board. Add Truck Stop. Add Truck Stop. It's going to give you a better reach. Now, the reason we're recommending having more than one load board is simple. You don't know which load board the trucking company is actually using. You don't know if they're using 123. You don't know if they're using Truck Stop. You don't know if they're using DAT. So you're getting a better reach with your postings, a better reach to see what trucks are available out there, so on and so forth. But when they went up overnight from $35 a month to $99 a month, that's when they went on the back burner. Okay, the basic load board at Truck Stop is $99. That allows a broker to post their loads and search for trucks. That's pretty much it. If you want the rate tool, which is known as Rate Mate, or it used to be called Rate Mate on Truck Stop, you've got to pay an additional $35. So now you are up to $134 a month for really a $35 a month load board. Okay. DAT Express at the time of this podcast is $125 a month. It includes the ability to post loads, search for trucks, and it gives you access to their spot rate tool. It's the better load board. DAT is a granddaddy of the load boards, bottom line. They are the granddaddy of the load boards. They've been around forever. They don't get everything right 100% of the time, but like I said, they are the granddaddy of the load boards. DAT is an acronym for dial a truck. Think back to the early internet age when we dialed in, used our modems to dial into AOL, paid 10 cents a minute and all that fun stuff. So they go back a long time. They are probably the most respected load board out there. The trucking company, they are using DAT. If they're making money, they're a successful trucking company, they will have the DAT load board. So you want to get to that DAT Express. Now, $125 for the DAT Express. Now, there is a product that they have. It's the next step up. It's known as DAT Power. DAT Power and DAT Express are pretty similar. The main difference is simply DAT Express, you're not able to roll over the loads. Now, what do I mean by roll over? The dates. You can't select, you may have 20 loads posted. Okay, it's the end of the day, you get them all posted to pick up today, but now you want to, what's known as roll them over to tomorrow's date. With DAT Power, or pretty much any other load board, you can go through there and click all your loads, change the date, click rollover, and it's done. Not necessarily on DAT Express. It doesn't have the rollover feature. So you have to go back in tomorrow, repost all 20 loads or whatever you have posted. Now, that doesn't sound like a bad deal, but man, believe me, when you get up there to 1,500 loads a day, that's going to get old real quick. You're going to want that rollover feature. So that's when you will want to make that step from DAT Express up to DAT Power, because you will get that included, that feature included with the DAT Power. And when you take that step up, you're taking a step up in price as well. So it's $190 a month, for DAT Power. But the thing is, and this is what you're going to learn as a broker, yes, these numbers sound pretty high right now. These rates and everything, but they're constant. They're not. Be it you post one load or 1,000 loads this month, you're going to pay the same rate. It doesn't fluctuate. It's a fixed cost. So there comes a point where it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it to you. More than worth it. Now, finally, we recommend the truckstop.com load board. 123 DAT product and truckstop, that's going to pretty much have you fixed up as far as load boards. Now, that's not to say there aren't other load boards out there you want to take a look at, but you're pretty much going to be set with those three. Okay, so whether you're posting or whether you're looking for a truck, instead of one tool, now you have three tools available. All right. FBTV Podcast, if you found the podcast on the website, or if you found us on YouTube, you will also be able to find us on your favorite podcast app, or on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, TuneIn, the whole 9 yards. Also, if you go to our website, we have the FBTV continuous television broadcast. It's a continuous broadcast. It's on our website, our YouTube videos. It includes additional videos that you're not going to find on our YouTube channel that we've put in the continuous broadcast. Also, while you're on our website, sign up for the FBTV newsletter. Keep up to date with what's happening, and by signing up for the newsletter, you know what a newsletter is. We'll keep you updated with what's going on with Freight Broker TV, as well as contest. Yes, we are going to be having contest, but this has to do more with YouTube than the podcast. On YouTube, our YouTube channel, we are going to be having contest once we hit 100 subscribers, and we're just a little over halfway there now. But when we hit 100 subscribers, we're going to be having contest, and right now prizes vary in value from $15 to as much as $700. So go ahead and get set up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check out all our videos. All right. Well, I've been debating whether to bring this up in this podcast or not, but since I probably ticked off most of the small trucking companies out there talking about that free ELD, don't do it, from Uber Freight, well, why not go all the way? Women in Trucking bill has been introduced in Senate. A pair of U.S. senators introduced a bill aimed at supporting women in the trucking industry. Now, let me start right here by saying I support women in the trucking industry. This bill seems to be more focused on women, female drivers. It says because women are substantially underrepresented in the trucking industry, Congress should explore every opportunity to encourage and support the pursuit of careers in trucking by women. Who is this? Senator Moran. He says, I'm proud. I'm proud to introduce this bipartisan and sensible bill with Senator Baldwin, Tammy Baldwin, from Wisconsin. Sensible bill with Senator Baldwin that will lead to new job opportunities for women and increase equality for women already in the trucking industry. It says that by removing the barriers that get in the way of women pursuing and retaining careers in trucking is key. Now, hey, I'm all for women getting in the trucking industry. I have no problem with that. You know, I have a lot of clients on the broker side, consulting side of our business, and no problem with that. Matter of fact, we have people coming out of the truck, females coming out of the truck, they're wanting to learn how to broker. They've been in the truck. I don't understand this. I really don't. What is the independent study? What are they talking about? This is one, women or politicians that have no clue about the industry, they come up with this stuff that's really a waste of time, because if these politicians would have looked at the industry, yes, women are more than welcome in the industry as far as getting behind the wheel, learning to drive. If a woman wants to do that, she will figure out a way how to get into the industry. I mean, it's a no-brainer. You learn how to drive a truck, you get your CDL, and you get a job. I do not know of any trucking company that would discriminate against any type of a female driver. As long as they can do the job, there's no problem with that. So I don't get this bill. I don't get it. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in politics I don't get. Let's see, it's called the Women in Trucking Workforce Act. As part of the legislation, the advisory board would be instructed to identify industry trends that directly or indirectly discourage women from pursuing careers in trucking. Ways trucking companies, nonprofit organizations, and trucking associations may coordinate to facilitate or support women pursuing careers in trucking. Ways to expand existing opportunities for women in the trucking industry. Opportunities to enhance trucking training, mentorship, education, and outreach programs that are exclusive to women. Okay, I'm scratching my head. I don't get it. I understand. Like I say, I am all for women being in the trucking industry. And I think if you ask any woman that is in the trucking industry, I'm referring to drivers. I think that's really what they're talking about here more than anything, are women becoming drivers. I may be wrong about that, but the reason I'm saying that is because I don't think they're talking about women getting into the trucking industry as a dispatcher or back office or administrative part of it. I mean, that just makes no sense to me, because a woman that's going to be doing that kind of work anyway, she knows how to, you go apply and you get the job. So I'm thinking what they're talking about here actually is driving. Now, I think some of this is meant to try to be propaganda to encourage women to get out here and learn how to drive a truck, because there is a driver shortage. Okay, more drivers available that they can put in the seats behind the wheel, the better off the industry is going to be. But let's not disguise it as making it sound like, hey, the trucking industry is so hard for a woman to get into that, by gosh, we gotta come up with this act. We got to get it through Congress to get these barriers down so women can get behind the wheel easier. Come on. Honestly, if a woman wants to learn how to drive a truck, she's going to learn. At least that's been my experience. I have not seen a woman anywhere that wanted to drive a truck that didn't know how to get started in the industry. You pick up the phone and call, just like men do. You get somebody to teach you. You go to driving school, whatever, you get that CDL. Getting a job with a trucking company, if you've got a CDL, it's going to be pretty easy. First job might be a little bit tough, but after that first job, they're lining up wanting to hire you. Anyway. All right, let's call it a day, huh? I think we've moaned and groaned about everything we could today. Check out our website, freightbrokertv.com. If you got questions, if you're on our website, right below the audio for this podcast, there is a form you can fill out, put in the question. If not, you can email us. Email address is fbtv@freightbrokertv.com. If you're on our YouTube channel, right below the audio or the video audio for the podcast, you know how that works. It's just static picture with the audio. Leave a comment. We'll be happy to answer any question, provide any information you need. All right. Have a great day. Have a great day. Unless, of course, you've made other plans, and if you did, change them.